So the topic is the pattern of the biodiversity. Let's go through the notes also side by side. So the diversity of plants and animal is not uniform throughout the world. It is uneven. So there are various types of patterns of biodiversity possible. Latitudinal diversity, which we just read from the NCERT. Then altitudinal diversity is also there, gradient. Then we have the geographical gradient of diversity, and then topography also. So the first one, as per the NCERT, is the latitudinal gradient. So species diversity decreases as we move away from the equator towards the pole. So once we start moving away from equator, the first thing is equator is the area which is the tropical zone, followed by the subtropical, temperate, and the equator. The polar region. So the biodiversity is supposed to be maximum in the tropical region, and then the diversity is moderate in the case of the temperate region, and then the Arctic region is supposed to have the minimum amount of biodiversity. For example, now the same pattern is followed, you can see here. The Colombia is near the equator, has 1400 species of the birds, and New York is in the temperate region. It at 41 degree north has 105 species of birds, and the minimum is closer to the Arctic is the Greenland with 71 degree north is the position, has 56 species of the birds. So in the same manner, India, because its maximum portion is in the in the tropical and subtropical region. So India has 1200 species of birds, and the Amazonian rainforest in South America in the tropical zone has maximum diversity on Earth. And equator, closer to the equator, there is a country, Ecuador, has 10 times the number of species of vascular plants as in the equal area of the Midwest of USA. Now, why diversity is more in tropics? We learned the points. As per the notes, there are 4 points to understand. The first one is that the stable climate, we have more stable climate in the tropical region compared to the temperate zone. I already explained to you that the climate remains same. You don't find much fluctuation in the temperature on the daily basis as well as the seasonal basis, because if you go to the South India, you will find that this thing happens actually, that daytime and nighttime temperatures are hardly different, not like the way it happens in the North India, where it is too hot in the daytime and then evening becomes slightly cool. And when you compare the same thing with the months changing, the seasonal changes also are variable, are quite visible in the North India. But when you go to South India closest to the equator, you will find that there will be hardly any change in temperature from season to season. So because the climate remains stable in the tropical region compared to the temperate zone, that means the favorable environment is more available in the tropical region compared to the temperate region. And reason is always clear, because I told you in the 11th you have learned about the enzymes efficiency. Enzymes work their best in the optimum range of temperature. This range is always available because of the stable climate in the tropicals, but this range is disturbed, or you can say the enzymes efficiency is disturbed in the case of the temperate or otherwise the polar region, because in these areas fluctuation of temperature is a lot, and more the temperature fluctuates, enzymes will be less functional, metabolism will slow down. Second point is the older communities in the tropics and had more time to evolve. We just learned about this point from the NCERT also, that whenever glaciation happened, it had a negative effect in the temperate zone, in the polar region. So those organisms, many of them underwent extinction also. So but the communities which developed in the tropical region, they always had a fair time of evolution or to reproduce, because glaciation had minimum or no effect at all in the tropical region. So because it had no effect, the organisms had abundant time to evolve. Third point is the temperatures are warm and humidity is high in most of the tropical region, except for some of the deserts which are found close to the tropics. Otherwise, you will find that the tropical area will be always having warm temperature and high humidity, and we all know these are the most favorable conditions for life to survive and to evolve. Fourth point, as per the notes, is the There is more solar energy available throughout the year in this tropical region, and we just covered from the NCRT also, if there is more solar energy, then there is more going to be production by producers, and if the producers are healthy, the consumers, that mean herbivores followed by carnivores, are going to become healthy. So healthier food chain or food web will be there. This will cause more productivity, and if there is more productivity, definitely there is going to be more reproduction, more diversity, and these are the reasons why we find more diversity in the tropics compared to the temperate zone. The next type of gradient possible, which is not mentioned in the NCRT, is the altitude gradient, that when we go from the bottom of the or the foothills and we start reaching up to the higher altitudes in the hills, we will find that the gradient is, there is a gradient again, more diversity towards the base of the mountain, and as you start going up you will find less diversity at the top of the mountain. So species diversity decreases as we move to the higher altitudes due to drop in temperature and greater seasonal variation. Variations are again more as you go high into the mountains. So because of these seasonal variation and temperature variation, there will be less species in the higher altitudes and more species towards the lower altitude.